Hey, what's up, dude? Um, I I wrote like a whole paragraph, and I was like, you know what? Let me just send you a video, because that guy, he might have some points, but his first 2 points are just unsourced. He says that unemployment is going to double in 3 to 9 months after the Fed has raised rates. Where's his source on that? Like, I haven't heard anybody say that unemployment is going to double. I've heard and I've seen economists and economists that work at other Federal Reserves across the country say that they see unemployment getting up as high as 4%, maybe 5%. That's a healthy job market. So I don't see that dude's source saying, I don't know where he's getting his information that the unemployment rate is going to double. That's just wild, right? And as far as home values declining, home values might decline, but I mean, if somebody wants to buy a home and sell in 3 years, yeah, that's a risk. But if you want to buy a home and then stay in it for 10 years, yeah, there's going to be ebbs and flows. But historically, home prices go up on average 4% every year. So, I mean, they might drop 10% in year two, but then they could go up 15% in years 3 and 4. So then net, you'd be up, I don't know, 7%. I don't know what the averages would be like, right? But on average, you get 4% growth. So yeah, you might buy a home today, and yes, it might decline later this year, but are you going to sell in a year? I mean, people don't buy homes to then turn around and sell them 12 months later. That's not why people buy homes. People buy homes so they can live in them for a long time. Investing, speculating, that's a short-term thing, right? So that's probably a bad time to buy a home if you want to speculate. But that takes a lot of work, man. No one really does that. And talking about a best time to buy, man, is it a good time to buy it now? You know what? Want to know when the best time to buy a house is? The best time to buy a house is 20 years ago. The next best time is when it's right for you, right? So you got to ask yourself, is it right for me to buy right now? Am I in a place in my life where I can buy today? Does it make sense for me to buy? And then really you got to ask yourself, why do I want to buy a house? So, there is no best time to buy. Um, there literally is not a best time, because every single market that you're in, there's always something wrong. Kind of like in 2020, 2021, these last couple years when interest rates were near zero, 2%. Um, was that the best time to buy? I mean, it was a really hard time to buy, so prices were high. So was it the best time to buy if you could afford it? How about in 2011 when the market had bottomed out? Was that a good time to buy? In hindsight, of course, but at the time, everybody was scared. Nobody wanted to buy in 2011, which in the last 40 years, okay, maybe not 40 years, but in the last 30 years, 2011 was the absolute best time to buy a house. But nobody was buying homes then because everybody was scared. So the point is, every single market has a downside. There's always going to be fear mongering, like this guy, right? You can't time the market. You literally cannot time the market. It's like trying to catch a falling knife. You just can't. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous game to play. So I always think about Warren Buffett. He said two things, but the one thing that applies to for this is time in the market will always beat out timing the market. So it's better to get in and hold on for the long term than it is to try to find the right time to jump in. Do my assets, does my life, does all that, does that fit my goal of buying today for the long term? If the answer is yes, then you should consider buying a home. If you're really uncertain, well, you got to start asking yourself those questions if it's really a good time for you. But the market, I mean, unless you're a speculator in for the short term, for the 1 to 3 years, yeah, maybe it's a bad time to buy right now with a mortgage. But even with cash, like, it might not be a great time. But if you're looking for something for the longer term, 5 to 10 years, you just got to ask yourself, why do I want to buy a home? That will give you the answer if right now is a good time to buy or sell a home. So, hope all that helps. I knew a paragraph through text wasn't going to give you, or I felt it wasn't going to really give you a good idea. But yeah, man, hope that helped out.